What up, YouTube? This is JT. So, we got this fight coming up, and it's time to call a spade and call the shit right down the middle, like I normally do. A lot of people talk shit, but the thing is, I'm going to give my honest opinion, complete breakdown on this Golovkin and Canelo fight. A lot of people been talking shit. A lot of people have been delusional. But, no trolling, no bullshit. Because we all know Golovkin has some of the most racist, vile, sickening, disturbed fans in boxing history. But, we're going to call this thing down the middle. And here we go, man. So, as far as resume, it's not even close. Canelo Alvarez has the better resume. Canelo Alvarez has been in with the better opposition. Amateur pedigree, like I said, man, that's a recent thing. That's recent that people even give a shit about that. That's just stuff you hear on TV. That's just people drinking the Kool-Aid. But the end of the day is, amateur pedigree, it's important. But at the end of the day, you have the greatest fighter ever, Floyd Mayweather. He only had, 75 amateur fights. So having all these amateur fights don't mean shit, man. That doesn't mean you're going to be great. That doesn't mean that you are great. Okay? That's just all hype and propaganda. Canelo been fighting since he was 15 years old professionally. So to me, that trumps an amateur pedigree, because obviously fighting professionally is more important than fighting amateur fights. Because at the end of the day, the whole goal is to fight professionally, So, even though Golovkin is a silver medalist, who gives a fuck? It is an accomplishment, but I don't put too much into that, because this is professional boxing. This isn't amateur boxing. I think Golovkin has a lot of advantages in this fight, and I think Canelo has a lot of advantages in this fight. But the question is, which advantage is the most relevant to win this fight? Which advantage is gonna take precedent in this fight? I think that in some ways Golovkin, unfortunately, is tailor-made for Canelo, because he comes forward. I give him more credit than a lot of people. He's not as bad as a lot of people make it seem defensively. Like, he just comes forward head first like he's fucking Angulo or something. But he does come forward. But he does keep his guard and comes forward cautiously. But, he's not a slick boxer by any means, but he's also not some defensive wizard or some elite defensive fighter like, some of these junkie crackheads, these boxing junkie, convicted crackheads and heroin addicts, whatever they like to say, that this guy is some otherworldly super talent. That's not true. And that also is the same for Canelo Alvarez. But I do think Canelo Alvarez has the advantage defensively in this fight. That is true. He has the advantage defensively, and he has the advantage with hand speed, and punch variety. I think, Golovkin is kind of a left hook, uppercut, left hook. He kind of, he varies that same attack. Whereas Canelo, I think, has a straight right. He has a left hook. He has a right hook. Golovkin has a right hook too. He has an uppercut. He has better just upper body movement. You know, the biggest question in this fight is the size to me. They're pretty much. I think if they was the same size, I think Canelo would win this fight easily. But the fact that Golovkin is the bigger man, and he's knocked out bigger men, and he's knocked out guys that are now fighting at 168, and he's competed with guys who are fighting at 168. He fought Darrell in the Olympics. He's fought guys like Rubio. I know Rubio's trash, but at the end of the day, he's a bigger guy. He's fought Daniel Jacobs, a guy who clearly can fight at 168. So, who beat Quillen, who's now fighting at, whether it's light heavyweight or 168. I don't know where Quillen's going to be fighting, but, I think that Golovkin has just fought the bigger guys and is the naturally bigger guy. I think that's the big difference here. And the fact that, we really haven't seen Canelo under pressure that much. And when we have seen him under pressure, to me, he didn't look that great. Like when we saw him under pressure with James Kirkland. Kirkland was putting him on the ropes. Even Liam Smith was putting him on the ropes. Liam Smith was putting this guy and pinning him on the ropes and landing all types of shots. But even those guys are much faster than fucking Golovkin is slow, man. He's just so slow. He's just going to have to catch Canelo in the exchange and hurt him. You guys think he has this superpower? I don't know. Who has he used? Who has he beating at a certain level to show that he has this superpower, He hasn't really done it against anyone elite. So that's the question, man. Can Golovkin catch him? And when he does catch him, is he going to hurt him? And will the size be too much for Canelo? Those are the questions. As of late, it looks like Golovkin has hurt everyone he's fought. He even hurt Jacobs. He put him down. And a lot of these, these radical Golovkin Russian man defenders, they said he was going to beat Jacobs so easily in 4 rounds and massacre. But that wasn't a massacre, So that's kind of why this fight is coming. I don't really put too much into the Kell Brook fight. To me, Kell Brook got fucked up, man. He got destroyed in 5 rounds. Dude, if you're putting too much, if you're saying Kell Brook explodes Golovkin, come on, man. He got destroyed in 5 rounds at the end of the day. He did what he was supposed to do. He destroyed Kell Brook in 5 fucking rounds, made him quit. So I can't really put too much into that. Let's be honest here. I think Jacobs had more of a case for an exposure than Kell Brook. The Kell Brook fight, it was what it was. He came straight ahead, and we know how slow Golovkin is. Kell Brook slipped a lot of his punches and just countered him. But at the end of the day, he was just overwhelmed. And I think that, I don't know, man. Because truly, this is a 50-50 fight. To me, the safe bet will be Canelo winning by decision, man. And a lot of Golovkin man defenders coming out making slow-mo videos and all this. But you never know, man. I don't really pick guys who have puncher's chances, man. If you just have a puncher's chance, it's hard for me to pick for you. So I'm going to rock with Canelo in this one by decision. But, I wouldn't be shocked if Golovkin overpowers him, man. Because at the end of the day, it's 2 hype jobs fighting each other here, man. Because we don't know how good Canelo is because of his padded record. And, fighting guys like, he couldn't stop Chavez Jr., man. A fucking punching bag in front of him. So, at the end of the day, that makes it, it's like he stopped Liam Smith in, 10 rounds, who was a fucking bum. And he knocked out Amir Khan, and he didn't stop Cotto. You know, I think Golovkin clearly stops Cotto and fucking Chavez Jr. I think Golovkin stops both of them. So, you know, it's a difficult fight to call, you know. But if we call a spade, I think Canelo wins a close decision, man. You know, or Golovkin is gonna, if he doesn't get overwhelmed and overpowered, man. You know, it just depends how much respect does Canelo get from Golovkin. You know, can he earn respect? Can he land something to let Golovkin, you know, stay on the outside, not walk all the way in? You know, so that's kind of where I stand on it, man. I think Golovkin is probably the stronger fighter, bigger punch for sure, better jab for sure, but you know, his movement isn't great. He's not the quickest guy, and he doesn't have nothing quick. He's just slow as fucking old, going against a young guy in his prime with faster hands and better defense. So everything points to Canelo winning this fight. But like I said, he's a smaller man here. You know, don't get me wrong. I don't care what the weights are. I don't care. At the end of the day, there's weight classes for a reason. There's a reason why Canelo didn't stop Chavez Jr. There's a reason why Canelo couldn't even stop, you know, certain guys, man, is because weight classes are for a reason. And we never seen Canelo in with a real middleweight, you know, better off the alleged best middleweight right now, you know. So we don't know, man. You guys tell me what you think, man. It's JT. I'm out.